All right. We are up and running for all intents and purposes. So, welcome once again, nerds, to the off season. We have a very, very packed show today. Very, 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 very. So, still haven't completely updated OBS, but we will survive one more week, and then by the time we go live again, I will have fixed it. That being said, I don't think there's any behind-the-scenes stuff that needs to... Yay! What's up, Chris? Yeah, so that being said, I don't think there's any other behind-the-scenes stuff. A couple minutes late, as per usual. But just trying to get things taken care of as much as I can before we roll so that we can just start going. So... make sure everything is square, and we are switching over here. We got to do the obligatory. Dubby is channel partner. I'm super appreciative for the dudes over at Dubby. They actually just rolled out a new flavor. I just got the message today. Well, there's a Chainsaw Man Bleeding Orange. I haven't tried that one yet, but I'm sure it's delicious. There, where is the blue raz? They have a blue raspberry. There you go. Sweet and sour blue raz. Right there. That's the newest flavor, but my go-tos are legitimately... my new favorite is Tiger's Blood because it's crazy good. Or the standby is... oh, where's all of the flavors? Come on, meow. Formula about a shop. There we go. Shop tubs. So my standby is the Calio Cream. It is the best orange cream energy drink I have tasted. And honestly, one of the best energy drinks I have ever had is their other crazy new flavor. It's s'mores right there. It is... after having drank the s'mores flavor, I understand why people wake up with a cup of coffee. Like, that's how this makes me feel. It's pretty damn good. The obligatory things about an energy drink, it is a lot of caffeine. It is about 250, 300 milligrams. I can't remember exactly right now offhand. Oh, I guess it's right here, maybe. Nope. Yeah, caffeine anhydrous is 150, and then, so 250, I was right. 250 milligrams caffeine. And also, worth a note, the caffeine anhydrous is the synthesized caffeine, so it hits your system a lot faster. The coffee fruit extract is 100 milligrams. That's a naturally occurring caffeine, which means it stays in your system longer. You process it slower, so it's a more gradual come down off the caffeine, so you don't have a crash. No sugar, so you don't crash off the sugar, and you've got all of the brain food stuff, the L-taurine, L-tyrosine, L-glutamate, all that jazz. It's pretty great. And I have people question me in the comments all the time, do you actually drink this stuff? Yes, I legitimately have approximately one serving of Dubby in some form every day, sometimes 2 or 3. So yeah, it's honestly really, really tasty, and I stand by. I would not be putting it on the channel if I didn't stand by it. So the other thing that we have to talk about is me being my own sponsor. If I can find the... oh, because we're at the top of the page. We need to go back a page. Me being my own sponsor means I have a merch store. You can find it linked down in the description. Unless you're on the Rumble. I can't remember if I have it linked on the Rumble or not. But either way, you can go check out Creator Spring, jellynerdy.creatorspring.com, and you will find these things. The most recent merch that I have put out is the stuff with the Phantom Nerd, Phantom of the Opera, Music Nerd. Kind of covers all the bases. We have obscure cinema, we have very nerdy obscure cinema, as well as death metal font for the lettering. So like all of the great stuff that we talk about on the channel regularly covered in one image. And then I thought I was clever when I came up with this one, the Confused Millennial design. You can find all these on the shop. stickers. We have a bunch of shirts and bags and things. Coffee mug for the confused millennial as well. But yeah, so I am my own sponsor. Go check out the link in the description, or just, find the Creator Spring store. Generally Nerdy is the name. As for the Dubby, I totally forgot the promo for Dubby. I have a button for it. I have a button. Let's do the button. Oh, the button still doesn't work because I still haven't updated things. That's right. Remember, I said next live stream. We will have that updated on the next live stream. But code Generally Nerdy at checkout when you go to dubby.gg if you want to get some of the energy drink stuff. There is no longer a promo running in the merch store, so sadly there's no discounts at the moment. But there usually is something running on the merch store, so just keep checking back with the channel, and don't forget to subscribe and all the things. And that is all of the obligatory nonsense for the front of the show. Let's get into the actual news. We're going to start with one of the big ones, because this is not just a follow-up. This is a new development in the selling of Warner Brothers. Is this the first one that I wanted to talk about? Yes, I believe this is the first one. We have 3 stories here that are all about the same thing, and we're going to get into it. And then also something that wasn't in the thumbnail or in the title, but is going to be a big thing that we talk about this week, is the new Metroid Prime 4 trailer just dropped. I just watched it this morning, watched a couple of breakdowns of it, and we have some reasonably nerdy things to cover there, so we'll get into that. But yeah, so we have a development with the whole Warner Brothers sale, specifically a Saudi firm following. Oh, this is not the first piece. Let's click the link and go to the first piece. There we go. So Zack Snyder, Christopher Nolan, and Saudis set to bring back the SnyderVerse. I did grab that one, didn't I? I guess not. Anyway, so set to bring back the SnyderVerse. On the eve of the anniversary of the theatrical Justice League release, our insiders have reached out. So this is from the 16th, so 2 days ago. Reached out with major updates about. So this started as rumor, but then we have some developments since this started. Major updates about Zack Snyder, the sale of Warner Bros. Discovery, and what is now being described as full play scenario for the return of the SnyderVerse. That is correct. Apparently, it's not 100% dead, but Warner Bros. Discovery is officially up for sale. That is not a rumor. That is actually news we've been actively covering since it started. No coincidence that Zack Snyder has been posting nonstop DCEU images and liking fan content on Instagram that compares the performance of his films to James Gunn's struggling DCU projects. The timing lines up with what we have been told. If WB is sold, James Gunn will be out as head of DC Studios. That also is kind of obvious. Like, nobody who is attempting to purchase DC has explicitly said such things, but it has very heavily been implied. Continuing, this comes from the same insider who told us Daredevil Born Again was being completely retooled months before the Hollywood Reporter confirmed it exactly as we reported. It's the same source who has been accurately filling us in WB sale and David Zaslav's plan before the trades caught up. Their track record speaks for itself. So, the SnyderVerse. Regarding DC, the message from our insider is clear. The SnyderVerse is back in play fully. That means Zack Snyder returning to DC, not just for a one-off Elseworlds title, but for an actual revival of the universe he started. Now, this has me super freaking worried, because all of the reasons we've already covered why the SnyderVerse is not as good as people want us to think. Is it better than Gunn's DCU? That I feel like is debatable. Like, I can see where people would have an argument to be made there, but I would honestly put them at about the same level as far as the quality. Obviously, performance is another thing, but there's been a number of factors at play that have affected box office sales since the SnyderVerse was a thing. So I think that there's less of an argument to be made there, but that's not necessarily what we're talking about here. The quality of the SnyderVerse. I mean, the biggest thing is you have two major superheroes in the SnyderVerse who did two things they never do in modern continuity. Batman used guns to zero effect, also, by the way, and Superman killed. And that's all I need to say. That is Zack Snyder's modern update. And yeah, I mean, I guess technically Batman kills too, because he kind of mows dudes down with that machine gun. So, like, it's a little silly. Continuing on. Where is it? Where did we leave off? Oh, yeah, we're told Christopher Nolan. No, we're up here. Regarding DC. Nope. That's where we are. Christopher Nolan. We're told Christopher Nolan is also part of the plan to return as executive producer. The same Christopher Nolan who backed Snyder on Man of Steel and helped shape the original vision for DC before WB derailed it with studio interference. According to what we have previously been told, it was also Nolan's decision to hand over DC to Snyder. So if we have Christopher Nolan in the big chair on top, as far as the Marvel or the DC movies are concerned, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable because we already know the amazing quality that he is capable of putting out with superhero movies. So, while Snyder has publicly said he wanted to end his DC career with an adaptation of Dark Knight Returns, we're now told that the impending sale of WB Discovery has shifted everything. He's pivoting towards restoring the SnyderVerse outright. If that happens, it implies the return of Ben Affleck as Batman, who publicly rejected working with Gunn's DCU after its announcement, and Henry Cavill as Superman. Fans remember Cavill's widely seen interview with Josh Horowitz confirming his comeback, only for Gunn to immediately upend it. Gal Gadot has also been visibly active supporting the SnyderVerse posts because of course she is. That's the most relevant she's ever been. None of this is accidental. Even Ezra Miller is making some sort of Hollywood is he really? So update. We're going to get into those updates. The Saudis in the driver's seat. We're told Saudi Arabia is now the front runner to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. According to our source, they're in the driver's seat with their $1 trillion fund. So this, I'm assuming, is the same Saudi group that purchased Evo and that purchased a portion of... Oh, what was that studio? The one with Jared Kushner as a part of it. That whole situation. That's all the same company. It's what it sounds like. They haven't said that explicitly, but that's what this sounds like. Another update. Paramount has teamed with this. Okay, so yeah, we have, like I said, this is actively developing right now. Snyder and the UFC partnered with Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, chaired by Turkish Al-Sheikh, to produce Brawler, an upcoming film Snyder is directing and co-writing. Saudis trust Snyder creatively, and he is already tied directly to their entertainment expansion. Our insider says this is exactly why Snyder has been highlighting his SnyderVerse work on social media. The signals aren't random, they're building momentum. We're told Hollywood as a whole is also signing massive new deals with the Saudis, including Trump, like I said, Jared Kushner, and figures connected to Trump's circle, like his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The kingdom wants major entertainment assets, major franchises, and major theme park IP. Quote, Zack Snyder and the UFC have a partnership with the country's General Entertainment Authority, led by Turkey Al-Sheikh, to produce a new movie titled Brawler. Snyder will direct and co-write the film. We just kind of covered it, just repeating themselves at this point. So skipping that, moving on. Theme Park, Power, Universal plus Warner. Our source also confirms that the Saudis want a massive Universal Warner theme park as part of their Vision 2030 initiative. That means the potential to bring DC Universe, Universal Monsters, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, all under one entertainment umbrella. Fully restored SnyderVerse lines up with ambition. A Warner Brothers Discovery acquisition gives them everything. DC, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Universal Monsters, and Mortal Kombat. Let's not forget the Mortal Kombat and more. Our insider pointed us to comments from Hollywood producer Patrick Caligari, who said he was the first to report Saudi Arabia's interest in Warner Bros. Discovery back in October. According to Caligari, who recently returned from Saudi Arabia, the deal is nearly done. There is an update there as well. Stated that Saudi Arabia's acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery is one signature away. That's right. That's a link for a reason. From completion, the price would reach $70 billion. If true, the sale could close faster than anyone expected, and the SnyderVerse could return far sooner than fans ever thought possible. I don't remember if any of these other articles have this in it, but I did read something that said that it is possible that they could close this before year's end. Also, it is possible that they could close this before Christmas. So that's kind of huge. Next piece is one of those updates. So getting into this, following our report from yesterday about the return of SnyderVerse, our insiders have filled us in on the larger plans behind the Saudi bid for Warner Bros. Discovery, and it explains why Zack Snyder has been posting nonstop and why Christopher Nolan continues publicly praising Snyder's influence on blockbuster filmmaking. Now, as much as I don't like the SnyderVerse, as much as I think it is a bastardization of the DC mythos, I do have to acknowledge that that is an accurate statement, that he has had a strong and in most ways positive influence on blockbuster filmmaking. I feel like Snyder is kind of I can't even. Jerry Bruckheimer? No, who's the producer that always blows everything up? Michael Bay. Yeah, he's kind of a more modern version of Michael Bay. Thank you. But like, that's what most people go to the movies for, is for popcorn fodder. They're just going so they can turn their brains off and see cool things happen on the screen, not so that they can be preached at over the course of an hour and a half about how horrible people they are. Sorry, it is my stepfather's is celebrating a big thing today, so I'm probably going to get one or two more of those interruptions. Anyway. So according to what we're told, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, yes, this is the same group of Saudis that is investing in all of these other elements of Western culture, which is very interesting and potentially horrible because their culture, their way of life is not exactly 100% cohesive with Western culture. Western culture is kind of falling to pieces anymore, so they're moving in as a means to potentially heavily influence and change Western culture is theoretically the conspiracy theory for the long-term goal. But I don't know how much conspiracy that is. Anyway, continuing on. Public Investment Fund isn't just buying WB for content. They want to rival Marvel and build an event franchise on the scale of Avengers Doomsday, something James Gunn's DCU cannot deliver while the studio waits to be sold. Fair, because he just doesn't have the resources when they're in this kind of holding pattern. This lines up with what we've been reporting. Gunn's future at the DC, blah, blah, blah. We already talked about that. Can't greenlight massive crossover event because leadership knows ownership is about to change, why his slate is so small and insulated around the Superman stuff. We've talked about that ad nauseum as well. Gunn has openly stated that he doesn't want to touch Darkseid, which our insiders say is a key indicator. The Saudis view Snyder as the filmmaker meant to complete the DC epic he started, which of course features Darkseid as the villain. Christopher Nolan's movements are another major sign. Moved to Universal, he's currently filming The Odyssey in Morocco, where our insiders made a point of telling us it's close to the Saudi film expansion. So again, all of these pieces kind of lining up. Saudi Arabia's was it Public Investment Fund? Is that what it was? I can't remember. Where did you go? Yes, Public Investment Fund. Reportedly recently met with Comcast Universal about the Warner Brothers acquisition. Combine that with their $55 billion EA Games purchase. Remember, we just talked about that. And they're clearly constructing a multimedia empire that ties together film, games, sports, and theme parks. Also, apparently, Dana White has struck a deal with them, which I think might be mentioned in one of these other articles. Told Nolan and Snyder are the bellwether, meaning their moves signal whether the future blockbuster filmmaking is heading, where rather the future is heading. Nolan has been openly pointing to Snyder's influence on global blockbuster filmmaking, citing examples like RRR, massive Indian action epic that was released in 2022, while major filmmakers such as the Russo brothers and James Cameron have echoed similar points. Snyder's relationship with Saudi Arabia is already established through his UFC partnership. There it is, yeah, on Brawler, which is backed by the country's General Entertainment Authority. We are specifically told that the Saudis and UFC favor Snyder's muscular filmmaking style because, of course, they do. That is a big Muslim thing. Massive DC event is the goal. Note that. According to the insiders, the Saudis want an event-level DC universe that matches or surpasses Marvel as it peaks, at its peak, rather. And they don't think James Gunn is the answer. That type of crossover can only come from the SnyderVerse, which again explains why Snyder has been actively posting images of Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Jared Leto, and Jason Momoa while the WB Discovery sale accelerates. I still think there is an element, I'm going to, again, cut from the article, I still think there is an element of Snyder posting those images as nostalgia bait. I think he's trying to drum up interest in something that will benefit. Like if people start buzzing about the SnyderVerse again, that is going to greatly benefit the cause of trying to reinstate the SnyderVerse. I think that it still isn't a done deal, and it very well could fall through, but if there is enough buzz, then it's more likely to be a good sell. So their goal is modern myth-making, and they see Snyder and Nolan as the only filmmakers capable of delivering a cultural event on that level. Christopher Nolan, yes, I think that's fair. Zack Snyder, I mean, the two of them together could be kind of the secret, because Snyder knows how to make things, not that Christopher Nolan doesn't know how to make things visually interesting, but Snyder's more flashy. Snyder is pop music, where Christopher Nolan is jazz in a lot of ways. So you put those two things together and you get something kind of incredible in theory, or it could be a giant dumpster fire. We will probably see eventually. Snyder has shifted into high gear. Insiders say this is why Zack Snyder has suddenly shifted into high gear on social media. Our insiders put it, the thing is, the Saudis want their investment in Warner Brothers to rival Marvel, and they want an event as big as Avengers Doomsday. James Gunn knows this time is uncertain and can't greenlight anything that big. Again, repeating themselves. So that's that article. And then we move to this one. So James Gunn now apparently, oh no, I think 7:07 p.m. Yep, okay, I was right. So the next update on it is Gunn entering the fray. So a wild James Gunn has appeared. Had follow-up conversations with the insiders after asking obvious questions. If the SnyderVerse really is coming back, what happens to James Gunn? We have previously reported that when Warner Brothers Discovery is sold, Gunn is expected to be out as head of DC Studios. After our report, Gunn even publicly questioned his own future. We covered that, it was like a month ago. He continues to focus only on his Superman family saga, not the larger DCU he originally announced. And insiders say that's because he knows the sale is coming. We are We were also told that if David Ellison and Paramount bought Warner Brothers Discovery, Gunn would be done. Ellison is connected to Trump. Variety recently confirmed that what has been reported here on Cosmic Book News. Paramount is going MAGA. As much as a Hollywood production company can, or really should, honestly, like I feel like the more neutral, the better in most ways. But Gunn has a long and well-known history with conservatives, and DCU has been viewed as politically divisive, if not outright woke, a major issue for any Trump-aligned ownership group. Fair. Yes, the Odyssey is still, I think Chef Boyardee is going in the vein of Five Nights at Freddy. Yes, I think you are correct, actually. Also, the Grimace movie has already been confirmed to be going in the direction of Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry for the aside. For anybody who's watching in post, I'm talking to chat right now. And yes, the Odyssey is still actively being filmed. They wrapped on principal photography, from what I understand, but that means they have I'm gonna brain fart the proper term. The makeup shots post. They're redoing the stuff in post. So they're not into post production. They're doing all of the catch up. I can't remember the word. I apologize. Brain fart, as happens, I would imagine. Anyway, back to the article at hand. Saudi's now the front runner to buy Warner Brothers. The landscape shifted again when the Saudis emerged as the frontrunner to purchase Warner Bros. Discovery. According to a Hollywood producer who first dropped the news, the deal is, quote, one signature away, like we just said. Our insiders say that if the Saudis take over, the SnyderVerse will return, with Zack Snyder back in full swing. Christopher Nolan may also return as executive producer. We've been told the Saudis want to return a SnyderVerse-level event to rival Marvel, we just covered. Naturally, the author here, who is, I think, the guy who runs, Matt, that runs Cosmic Book. Naturally, I pressed the insiders on Gunn's fate, even floating the idea that with a $1 trillion fund, maybe the Saudis would consider running two DC universes side by side, a restored SnyderVerse and a separate Gunn-led DCU. From what I'm told, again, Matt here writing the article, even though the Saudis are also connected to Trump, there is speculation that Gunn could remain involved in some capacity or even collaborate, which is kind of evidence to the idea that even though his Superman didn't do as well as hoped, it did do well with the more nerdy-minded. It did do well with the people they're trying to get back into the theaters. It did better, I guess, because his Superman didn't kill anybody. But then he had all those other issues that we've talked about, again, ad nauseum at this point. Our insiders explained that the Saudis would likely prefer stability at the start, saying they'd want things to keep humming without rocking the boat. Gunn has deferred to Snyder. Our insiders noted that Gunn himself has previously deferred to Snyder, suggesting Gunn may already know the direction things may be heading. They also noted that everyone's working on their personal roles for possible scenarios as the sale approaches. We can also add that both Gunn and Snyder got their start at Universal with Dawn of the Dead. Universal is also reportedly in the mix to acquire WB Discovery, potentially partnering with the Saudis, which this kind of gives it a lot more weight. We've also been told, oh no, momento. There was nothing wet. Spills happen. I apologize. Luckily, that wasn't a computer-ending spill. But, continuing. Also been told many times that Gunn and Snyder are friends. The insider also pointed out Pierce Brosnan's recent comments about returning as Dr. Fate and said there is a general uptick in SnyderVerse actors being discussed for potential comebacks. Snyder's own steady drip of DCEU images has only fueled that speculation. Insiders summed it up. There's a lot of table setting with previous SnyderVerse characters possibly coming back. And then our final piece on this, as far as I know anyway, we'll refresh this real quick just in case. New York Post is now reporting Comcast executives are boasting behind the scenes that they, quote, have this in the bag as final bids for Warner Brothers Discovery are due this week. Wall Street, however, isn't buying it. Regulatory hurdles, weak cash reserves, and a heavily leveraged balance sheet make Comcast a long shot despite CEO Brian Roberts' aggressive push, according to the report. According to the site's antitrust insiders, a Comcast who owns Universal acquisition could take more than 2 years and still fail. The company's debt load will, low stock price, and limited liquidity are already red flags. But the real obstacle is political. Any takeover would require approval from the Trump administration's DOJ. And as noted, President Trump has no love for the CEO behind MSNBC and Saturday Night Live, two of the most anti-Trump platforms in media. Though it's no longer MSNBC, it is now MS Now, and that just means all kind of funny things that we've covered previous episode. Meanwhile, Trump has already signaled who he wants to win. Paramount Skydance, led by David Ellison, whose family has deep ties to the Trumps. The Post also notes Roberts was spotted in Saudi Arabia meeting with the kingdom's public investment fund. Same PIF currently exploring its own bid for Warner Bros. Discovery, meaning Comcast would be partnering with the Saudis. Again, this is just solidifying what was previously speculation. Foreign-backed acquisition of major U.S. media asset raises its own regulatory complications, but the Saudis' connection is notable because Trump maintains a friendly relationship with Saudi leadership. In other words, Trump is friends with the Saudis, problem solved. A Hollywood producer also said the Saudis believe the deal is done, blah, blah, blah. Update. Here we go. There is an update. Report from Variety says the Saudis do not have any incentive to partner with Comcast because of Trump and are now backing Paramount. We'll follow up on that because that's news since I did this research. But according to the report, Trump is fully prepared to greenlight a Paramount Skydance nearly $60 billion cash offer. Ellison family's ties to Trump only strengthen that position. Paramount Skydance faces far fewer regulatory obstacles than Comcast, Netflix, or Amazon. Final bids imminent. Momentum continues to favor parties aligned with Trump, and Comcast's confidence may be misplaced. So the newest update here is Skydance apparently is back in the front running for this. Paramount has reportedly joined forces with Saudi Arabia and two other Middle Eastern funds. So it's not just PIF. There's other funds involved here to increase its bid for Warner Brothers Discovery to $71 billion, topping the earlier Comcast Saudi offer by $1 billion. This comes after months of back and forth with Warner Brothers Discovery leadership, including David Zaslav, rejected multiple Paramount offers, including a previous $60 billion pitch. Another update here. Goodness. actively developing here. Paramount denies Variety's report that the company was forming an investment consortium with the sovereign wealth funds of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi to submit a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Wow. Update number 2. Insiders responded, noting that Paramount didn't specifically deny Saudi involvement. They also added, just remember, I still wouldn't count out Comcast Universal because they spun out MS Now from MSNBC to be an independent entity in anticipation of the bid to get the left-leaning channel out of Comcast because Trump hated it. And NBC is now centrist, more center-right. I would argue that that is not accurate. It might be heading that direction, but it is not there yet. Variety reports David Ellison's Paramount Skydance has aligned with sovereign wealth funds from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, forming a new investment group to push a massive all-cash bid for Warner Bros. Discovery. Each fund would contribute $7 billion, totaling $21 billion, while Paramount Skydance would front $50 billion. Combined, the offer hits the $71 billion mark. The move follows Warner Bros. Discovery board rejecting an earlier $23.50 share offer from Ellison. Warner Brothers Discovery has set November 20th as the deadline, so 2 days from now, for initial bids, with Paramount, Comcast, and Netflix all expected to submit. And by then, we will probably have much more concrete numbers of who is actually involved and how involved they are. Because at that point, it becomes public information. At least that's my understanding of the situation. So Saudi's involvement comes as the media landscape shifts around political and strategic interests. The report notes Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who is just a horrible person, met with President Trump at the White House on Tuesday, while Comcast co-CEO Brian Roberts recently traveled to Riyadh for a PIF-hosted conference and visited Qiddiya, I think is how that's pronounced, to scout a potential universal theme park. Interesting. However, according to Variety's source, Saudi Arabia has no incentive, quote-unquote, to join a Comcast bid because the Trump administration allegedly dislikes Roberts, largely due to MSNBC/MS Now, their political coverage. Paramount's bid, meanwhile, gives each of the 3 Middle Eastern funds access to an IP, a movie premiere, and a film shoot, which the source described as a reputation and soft power play. Ellison-led consortium is now positioned as the highest reported bidder so far, with the November 20th deadline looming. Like I said, 2 days. All eyes are on Warner Brothers Discovery's board, which must choose between 3 drastically different futures: a Paramount-Saudi alliance, a potential Comcast-backed purchase, or a Netflix-driven takeover. That is a little bit of a bleak landscape, if I do say so myself. But that's kind of that's the way. Yeah, reshoots. I think that's what I was looking for. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word reshoots, but yes, I think that's accurate. But this is kind of the future of our entertainment, at least at the moment. You have larger and larger entities entering into the media landscape, if you will. And they just kind of start to merge in different ways to become bigger entities and take over other things, and then back and forth, and that's just kind of the way it goes. And it becomes political because these are effectively entities that are aligned with government agencies. Less so in the U.S., but becoming more and more that direction even now. So, super interesting. This definitely has larger implications down the road, and I'm just kind of intrigued as to where it's going. I don't think it's a good place where it's going. I think that in the end, bad things are going to come of this. Less bad, not bad like media, like it's a bad movie. Like, I think we're going to get some really fan servicey stuff, while behind the scenes, these government-related entities are doing very shady things, similarly to the way like Temu and other Chinese organizations are collecting data on American audiences and stuff. Like, I think it's going to be in a very similar vein, but time will only tell at this point. So that is what we have there. Let's move into something maybe a little less heavy, shall we? Let's talk about the Running Man box office, because that's doing horribly. All right, so Running Man box office bombs even harder. Apparently, somehow they're still blaming COVID. So, joining Predator Badlands, Edgar Wright and Glenn Powell's Running Man officially collapsed at the box office this weekend. Once again, I'm going to probably reference the Jeremy Johns review, because I watched his review before just the other day. So, Johns' take on this, if I'm remembering correctly, Johns' take on this is, it feels directionless. Like, it feels like they were trying to do more than they should have done with this adaptation. Less of the faithful to the original IP, faithful to the book, more on the Marvelification of Hollywood, where we're just putting a bunch of characters in here who don't really have any distinction about them, so nothing really to remember the movie by, and then a bunch of jokes where there should be levity, and it just kind of ruins the mood. Haven't seen it yet. I actually want to see this one, so that will definitely, I might wait now, knowing what I know about the movie. Might wait for it to hit streaming before I try and go see it. But yeah, I do still want to see it, because the original Running Man was a lot of fun, but I'm also a bit of a Schwarzenegger fan. Anyway, Monday actuals are in, and the remake opened to a disastrous $16.5 million, even though the already low estimates were at $17 million, so it came in under the low estimates. International numbers were just as weak, with $11.2 million debuting, bringing the worldwide opening to $27 million. Embarrassing for a movie that cost $110 million and needs around $275 to break even. Yikes. Man. Oh, no. Instead of admitting the obvious, the movie is bad, Deadline ran a piece blaming everything except the film itself. So Deadline says, in a post-strikes COVID theatrical landscape where everyone is still trying to figure out what works, along comes Paramount's $110 million reboot, The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell. Why did The Running Man fall down at the box office? Couldn't be that the movie just didn't need to happen. Like, Glenn Powell is a name that brings in an audience. Edgar Wright is definitely a name that brings in an audience, and the two of them together couldn't make this happen because nobody asked for it. Anyway, according to the report, The Running Man fell because of COVID, post-strike landscape, leadership change at Paramount under David Ellison, and marketing department limbo. Reads like a checklist of excuses to avoid acknowledging the core issue. Audiences didn't want the movie because the movie didn't deliver. COVID didn't write the bad dialogue. David Ellison didn't film the goofy towel scene that didn't bring in female viewers. A marketing department shift didn't make the villains boring or the script flat. As said in the review by Cosmic Book, Running Man 2025 isn't a fun movie at all. That's why people skipped it. This version doesn't even come close to the Schwarzenegger film. Remake didn't connect with audiences the way Schwarzenegger Classic did. It's exciting, it's fun, it didn't offer anything fresh. Yeah, that's all we really need to cover on that one, I think. Oh, that's another Saudis thing, but I think we're good with that. We don't need to cover that anymore. We've hit all those bases. Let's move to rumor. We'll talk about Tobey Maguire in Doomsday, because apparently that's happening. But Tobey Maguire is once again at the center of the MCU chatter as new rumors claim he will return as Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday. Talk picked up fast after the last batch of alleged leaks appeared online, including a shot that looks like Maguire's back in the suit with fresh battle damage. That could be AI, though. Like, that seems... That seems that, like, the blue screen and then the actual lighting on him, this looks like it's kind of composited. It's probably AI composited, but it still feels pretty composited to me. So, the new image making the rounds shows a bloodied Maguire wearing a version of his classic Spider-Man suit against a blue screen backdrop. It matches the style and lighting of the other alleged Avengers Doomsday material circulating this week. Nothing is confirmed, but the timing of the photo surfacing alongside the other leaks has pushed fans into full speculation mode. Marvel hasn't addressed any of the images, but it hasn't stopped social media from treating them as possible early looks at the multiversal teams expected to play a major role in the film. Maguire already re-entered the franchise in No Way Home, where he appeared alongside, we already know, Spider-Man 4 talk keeps growing. There has been some ongoing chatter about potential Spider-Man 4, which reports claiming the Batman co-writer Mattson Tomlin has pitched a story centering on Maguire. Nothing has moved publicly, but the pitch and these new leaks have both kept interest high in another installment in Maguire's universe. With Avengers Doomsday shaping up to bring in multiple worlds and multiple versions of key heroes, Maguire being part of the lineup is quickly becoming one of the most persistent rumors. That's true. We've been covering it every step of the way. But that's all we've got is just this image right here fueling rumors, which I don't know. It's far too small to get any sort of actual read on it, and like the quality is pretty low. So it's really hard to say if this is legit or a fake, but like, I don't know, man. The lighting looks a little too video gamey. Like, the suit looks fake to me, but I've definitely been wrong in the past. So see, because this looks like an actual like nylon kind of material, this suit in this picture, whereas this suit in this picture looks much more shiny, much more hard, much less like some sort of real world material. So we got next, we're gonna talk, let's go to Black Panther 3. Coogler is officially returning to Wakanda. Ryan Coogler. While promoting his new vampire thriller Sinners at Deadline's Contender event, Coogler confirmed that Black Panther 3 is his next project. He joked that he would usually avoid giving a straight answer, but admitted he's deep into work on the MCU sequel. If it was anybody but you, I'd say it can neither confirm nor deny, Coogler teased. But we're working on it hard. Yeah, it's the next movie. So, confirmation. Following rumors, production listing pointing to the title Shadows of Wakanda, which has been circulating online. Marvel hasn't commented, but the timing lines up with Coogler's push to begin the trilogy's final chapter. Rumors also offered Damson Idris might be playing the new Black Panther in Avengers Doomsday and or Secret Wars, possibly as T'Challa's son, Toussaint, who first appeared in Wakanda Forever. Avengers concept art also features who is thought to be Toussaint in the picture that tops this article. And then it's more speculation as to who Denzel will be playing, but it is simple speculation. All right, our other kind of less important one. Well, I don't know. I'm a bit of a Star Trek guy, so kind of a little bit more important to me, maybe. New Star Trek movie launches with Goldstein and Daly leading the reboot. New Star Trek movie is finally moving forward at Paramount, and it won't look anything like what came before. Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, the team behind Spider-Man: Homecoming and Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, which, while not a great movie, did plenty fine in theaters, so... they are set to write, produce, and direct a fresh take for the franchise. Deadline reports the film is not tied to any prior Star Trek show or movie. It's also unrelated to the Chris Pine Kelvin timeline films that aren't moving forward, or any abandoned development projects. This lines up with recent comments from Skydance's David Ellison, who said the next Trek film will feature a new direction instead of continuing Pine's storyline. So that's why we haven't really heard anything new in that direction, aside from those comments from David Ellison. Sources for the outlet say the movie will introduce new characters and a world separate from what fans have seen on Paramount Plus, meaning Paramount and Skydance are aiming for a clean slate, which I think I'm a little kind of mixed about, just because there was some things about the Paramount Plus stuff that I dug. I liked the first season of Picard. I thought that was pretty great. I was intrigued for a good while, like through the third season even, of Discovery, and then that definitely lost my interest. I still haven't watched Strange New Worlds, although I'm told that that's like the one to watch. But again, at this point, it's kind of a wash anyway, because that's not continuing either, because they're all related. So continuing on, Deadline says that Goldstein and Daly have built a reputation for reviving major IP by bringing humor, energy, and more accessible storytelling. Their work on Spider-Man: Homecoming and Honor Among Thieves earned strong reactions from fans and critics, with both projects praised for balancing character, action, and comedy. Their tone is a big part of why Paramount wanted them for Star Trek. Franchise hasn't had a theatrical release since 2016's Star Trek Beyond and has struggled with multiple false starts. These two bring a style that Paramount and Skydance see as a way to recharge the series for a new audience. The duo already have momentum with both companies. Dungeons & Dragons became one of Paramount's highest-rated movies of 2023, and their upcoming Ryan Reynolds action comedy Mayday, produced with Skydance and Apple, has reportedly tested extremely well ahead of its 2025 release. So, yeah, I saw something about that. We didn't talk about it on the channel because it's got Ryan Reynolds in it doesn't necessarily. But I mean, it's the Daly and why can't I think of the other guys? Goldstein. So it's relevant. Maybe we should have talked about it anyway. Existing relationship made them top choice to relaunch Trek on the big screen. Plot details are still locked down, but the mandate is clear. New era, new cast, new vision. After years of stalled projects, Paramount appears ready to reboot Star Trek theatrically with a tone closer to Goldstein and Daly's signature style. More updates should land once script moves forward and the studio begins casting. Also, you could argue that is very similar to Gene Roddenberry's original point of Star Trek as well. You have a balance. There's always, you watch OG Trek, you watch Next Gen, you watch anything that Roddenberry had his hands directly on, there is a good element of character and action and comedy and all of the things that they're apparently bringing in Goldstein and Daly for. So, like, this has some strong potential to be something pretty awesome. That makes me kind of excited. All right, so we have one more movie thing, which it will bridge the gap into gaming. We have two gaming things, and then I think we're going to hit a couple of music bits because of course we are. But so let's bridge that gap into gaming real quick. Let's talk about first look at Zelda movie from Nintendo. Nintendo has shared the first official look at Legend of Zelda live action movie. I believe it is just this image we are staring at here. In a post on the company's X account, Japanese game designer Shigeru Miyamoto unveiled 3 first-look images of Bo Bragason as Zelda and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Link. The photos show the characters in costume in what Miyamoto called a lush, natural setting, matching earlier reports of the movie is filming in New Zealand. Miyamoto tweeted, "This is Miyamoto," because he starts all of his tweets like that, and it makes me laugh every time. Maybe it's a Japanese thing. I really don't know, but I think it's comical and it very much endearing. But we have officially begun filming the live-action movie adaptation of The Legend of Zelda in magnificent great outdoors, together with Bo Bragason, who plays Zelda, and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, who plays Link. The filming is progressing smoothly, so I would appreciate it if you could quietly watch over us. Theatrical release is scheduled for May 7th of 2027. Please wait just a little longer. I mean, she looks pretty great as Zelda. That is a very convincing Zelda, and him as Link too. I'm digging that. That's cute. And then there we go. There's a better look at him. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That is. Yeah. I definitely believe this kid as Link. Also look like we're going to be seeing maybe some Sheik. Looks like she's going to get in on the action a little bit, Miss Princess Zelda. The released images align with the recent leaked set video, which showed Bragason and Ainsworth in fantasy-style outfits surrounded by dense forest. Link is seen in a green tunic with a brown strap and boots, while Zelda wears a simple blue dress with a belt and pouch. These photos confirm the production has opted for a grounded look that's visually faithful to the game's world. What else would they go for? Like, that's kind of a silly confirmation to emphasize. Yes, they're going for something that looks like the game that they're adapting. Duh, of course they are. Emphasis appears to be on practical costumes and natural landscapes over CGI-heavy backdrops. I don't know why we would have thought otherwise. Like, that doesn't seem to make any sense. We know that Nintendo, in spite of many things, has a pretty good understanding of their fan base, which we will address with the whole Metroid trailer thing. But it seems that, by and large, they understand their audience pretty freaking well. And so for them to, for anyone to assume that they're going to horrifically alter The Legend of Zelda or do something that would go against the norms, like they announced it as a live action movie. They're not going to Disney that statement, and by saying live action they mean it's CG that is made to look as realistic as possible. No, that they're doing a live action movie, so they're going to do an epic fantasy movie in the same vein of Lord of the Rings, probably. It just makes sense. It stands to reason. Filming is underway in New Zealand. As revealed in behind-the-scenes video circulating online this week, the clips feature horses for scenes and a sizable crew operating on location, reinforcing the production's scale. So the movie is directed by Wes Ball, who did The Maze Runner, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and produced by Shigeru Miyamoto and Avi Arad. It is scheduled to hit, like we already said, May 7th, 2027. So I feel like we have adequately bridged the gap. Now let's talk about a couple of video game things. We have the one that was previously planned because the Game of the Year nominees have been revealed for the Game Awards, which will be in December. Yeah, December 11th. So let's just go over these. Isn't it 10? I thought it was 10. It's just 6? I really thought it was 10. Okay. So our options are Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which had these super popular. Like all of these games, it's a very rough year this year for Game of the Year contenders because this is a stacked lineup. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, which Hades 1 won the year it was released. Hollow Knight Silk Song, I'm pretty sure the first Hollow Knight game won the year it was released. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is the one I know the least about, but still it is very predominant in like social media comments and stuff. So like all of these games are very much in the zeitgeist, because usually, maybe not usually, but often, you'll get the announcement of Game of the Year nominees, and one of them is like, obviously it's going to this one, and obviously I really feel like we have 3, potentially 4 crazy strong options this year. Clair Obscur potentially has the front because it is the only original story, as far as I understand. I don't know if there was a Clair Obscur before Expedition 33, so somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But because if I am wrong, then all 3, possibly 4 of our options are sequels, which, you know, kind of is what it is. The other one, Death Stranding 2, because Hideo Kojima is amazing, so of course that's a front runner. And then Hollow Knight broke the industry when it launched. So all 3 of those games, and then to a lesser extent, Hades 2 is stepping into some very large shoes, because Hades 1 was so gigantic. I feel like it's overshadowed by the release of Hollow Knight. Also, I might be conflating this with a different launch, but I'm pretty sure when it did finally launch, Hades 2 had some bug issues, so it kind of shot itself in the foot at launch with that, which I think is the reason why I say kind of 4, because Hades 2 is like our honorary mention in this. But that's not to poo-poo over Donkey Kong Bonanza, because that's a solid game from what I understand. I haven't played any of these yet. I really want to play Death Stranding 2 and Hollow Knight, but I have to finish Death Stranding 1. And then Kingdom Come, I'm sure, is a fine game. Obviously, it's nominated for Game of the Year. It's also kind of living in the shadow of those other 3 games. So just a really rough year for Game of the Year. I kind of want to go, is there a link? Let's see if I can just pull it up. I want to go check out, we'll go here. The Googles. Oops. And then we go to Game Awards, the Game Awards 2025. And then we go to the website, and we look at all the nominees, verifying your request. Oh, goodness. There we go. All right. So nominees right here we're not going to look at all the categories. I mean, we are going to look at all the categories, but we're not going to get into each individual category. We're just going to, let's go to fighting game. Let's check best fighting game. Oh, no. 2XKO, I think, is the big front runner in this one. Potentially Capcom Fighting Collection, though I don't see that happening. Street Fighter 5, or Virtua Fighter 5, rather, holds strong potential. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I don't know how it got nominated. I don't even have my copy yet, because I'm waiting for the physical release. I ordered the collector's edition of the collector's edition, and also the level down from the collector's. I forget what they call it, but because there's different things in different collection. I ordered one for the Xbox and one for the Switch. I honestly think 2XKO is going to take it, though I think we could see an upset in either Fatal Fury or Capcom. I feel like Virtua Fighter 5 kind of was a little lackluster at launch, though again, please somebody correct me if I am just speaking out both sides of my neck at this point. Best game direction was the other one I wanted to take a look at. So similar to our Game of the Year nominees, we have Clair Obscur, Death Stranding 2, Ghosts of Yotei, Hades 2. Yotei's gotten some flack as well, so that's interesting. And Split Fiction, interesting. Let's check best multiplayer. Arc Raiders, I think, is a front runner in this one. Although Night Rain, I thought that was 2 years old at this point, but maybe I'm wrong. I think Arc Raiders is the one with all the buzz. Split Fiction's a strong contender, though, as well in this one. Battlefield 6, not as much, and I don't even know what Peak is. Esports game, that's always a fun one. Counter-Strike 2, Dota, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang. I don't know what that is. Valorant? Oh, that's cool. Valorant is up in the running. Nice. Oh, all right. Best community. Oh, this could get ugly. Baldur's Gate 3. Really? Best community? Baldur's Gate 3? This one goes to, oh, that's a really close one. Either Helldivers or No Man's Sky, because No Man's Sky has had a rally behind it over the course of the last few months because of the most recent updates. A lot of people are jumping back on that bandwagon, so I really think that this is our big battle here: is Helldivers or No Man's Sky. Final Fantasy 16 or 14 is fairly strong as well, but I think these are the big ones right here. Fortnite's a staple, so it could be an upset, but my money's on one of these two. What other categories? Best multiplayer. Most anticipated game. Let's see where this one's at. Yeah, all right, sure. Oh, this is another rough one. I think it goes to Grand Theft Auto because that's been the most anticipated game for the last 8 years. But Wolverine has been in a similar boat, not quite as long as Grand Theft Auto. Resident Evil Requiem, huge. CD Projekt Red's The Witcher 4, also freaking huge. Less of a build-up for these two as there was for these two, but still, all four of those are super, super strong. Yeah, I think that's all we're going to take a look at there. All right, so now let's get to... I'm going to have to mute this window to do this, but we'll go to Metroid Prime 4 and then mute. Yeah. Okay, so we're just right off the bat, we have all of these thumbnails already painting a not so great picture. There's still a lot of a deep dive left for me to do in this, but from what I've seen, I feel like there's a lot of negative, but like this is modern internet stuff because it gets you clicks to be the first person to be super negative on the new hot thing. And since Metroid has, I think the only thing we've been waiting longer for is, no, I think this is even outlasting GTA 6. Metroid Prime 4 has been multi-generational that we've been waiting for it. So yeah, this is kind of a huge thing, and it is finally launching. And we finally, the review embargo and everything has been lifted, so people who got early copies to do reviews with, even though it's not a complete version of the game, it is the first level, area, whatever. We've gotten a lot of really interesting issues. So I'm going to play this. Did I mute? Let's double check and make sure I muted this. Yes, I did. All right. Because I don't want to get issues with the copyright, but we have, let's see if I watched the trailer earlier, so let's see if I can, oh, it's going to take forever to load because YouTube is apparently having issues right now. Come on now. So we'll get to the biggest issue that people have, but there's a silly issue I found. Oh, that's a little bit not where I wanted to go. Here we go. Yep. All right. So this first issue I think is the sillier of the hot takes that people are taking with Metroid Prime 4, and that is that this vast openness of the planet that Samus finds herself on is antithetical to the nature of Metroid. Like, if the entire game was all of this right here, that would make sense. Like, yeah, I could understand that argument if this was all we were getting. If it was only open world sandbox stuff, then yeah, that argument holds water. However, we have seen, see if I can find it. Maybe. Well, I mean, it's kind of got a dungeon crawl element to it, because we have different biomes. It's almost like Halo combined with traditional Metroid Prime. So I think we're about to get to the point where it shows we're getting a rough overview of the biomes, right? So these are the different areas of that open world planet that totally misses the point of, no, these are different so from what it looks like, each of these biomes holds a Metroid style map. So we have effectively, what is this? This is like the 4th biome that we're looking at right now, maybe even the 5th. So we have something resembling, yeah, here we go. Right there. So this is a map of an area. This is just a section of that area. It looks like we have at least 3 towers, probably more, because this is a giant game from the looks of things. So going by the logic of, we have this open world issue that totally misses the point. Going by that logic, if we had gone based off of just the initial images of Tears of the Kingdom, then we would have had a similar argument to make that, oh, well, this totally misses the point of Zelda because it's a dungeon crawler, and the initial images that we got for Tears of the Kingdom were up in the sky. We're in the top level of a 3-level system that was, each level of that system was the size of the previous game unto themselves. So it was triple the size in the end of the previous game. This being, again, multi-generational in the wait time. We started waiting for this on the, I want to say they started talking about a 4th Zelda with the launch of the original Switch. I very well could be mistaken with that, but I'm pretty sure that's when it started, and then the official launch was supposed to be like later that year, and then that got pushed back, and then that got pushed back, and then they completely scrapped that game and started over, and that's what pushed it to where we are today. Again, those are just very, very broad strokes, but it looks like each of those biomes is going to carry a map similar in size, maybe not exactly the same, maybe they're not all going to be this epic, sprawling, labyrinthine map that we've got in previous Metroid games, but they are going to be comparable. Each biome looks to be something along this line, because the developers at Nintendo have figured out crazy ways to pack in giant maps into their games on these small, the kind of sort of small carts. So this has me super excited that we have these 5 biomes or whatever it is. These 5 areas that are all linked to each other through this open world desert map. Again, I'm going to have an issue finding it in the video, but this right here. So this is what links all of our biomes together, is this desert. So it looks like it's going to be fairly uneventful going from one to the next. And once you progress the story, then probably some sort of giant event is going to follow you through this connective area. But by and large, this is going to just be the thing that connects you from map to map. And it's going to be, in essence, a dungeon crawler, which previous Metroid games were, if you look at it in that language, then each game unto itself was a dungeon. I never played the one that everybody hates on the Wii U, I think it was. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but I think that the negative press around this element is unfounded. The other thing that seems to be getting a lot of flack, I mean, I guess we can go with this stuff right here, is you're going to have a series of sidekicks. Let's maybe one of these other videos, since we have this muted. Yeah, this guy, since I don't have to listen to him cry, we'll use the footage that he has. This right here, this cat right here in the game, apparently this is your first sidekick. This is the sidekick that is in the playable review copies that, from my understanding, are not complete copies of the game. They're just enough to get a review out of them. And if you watch anybody's negative coverage of this, I can understand the argument that they're making, though I feel like they're not fully understanding the scope of the game, which I think is the big issue with everybody being so negative about this, because you don't realize the scope, at least from what I can take away from what I've been given, because I don't have an advanced copy of the game, so I don't know how predominant these characters are, but there are at least 3 to 5 sidekick characters, and at least one of those sidekick characters is this guy who makes a bunch of stupid comments the entire time he's your sidekick. One of the reviewers that I was listening to earlier today referenced that it appears that this is not just like a mission. This is not an escort mission. You're not trying to save this guy. He is a part of a good chunk of the game, at least from what we have seen so far. And again, I feel like that is discounting the fact that we have no idea of what the scope is. I very well could be wrong, and the scope could be tiny, and each of these 3 to 5 sidekick characters is what progresses the story. So once you get to the last sidekick, then you're to the end of the game. Like, that is possible. I don't think it's likely, but that is possible. We have to at least acknowledge that. So I think that, again, Nintendo knows their audience. I fully realize that there are definitely a lot of basement dweller types who are definitely actually-ing me right now as they're potentially listening to my voice, but I feel like a lot of those people have been very negative about Nintendo things in the past, and those Nintendo things have turned out rather well. And so I don't think that it should be rewarded to be the first person to be negative about the new hot thing. I think that Metroid Prime 4 is going to be great. I very well could be wrong, but I have high hopes, I guess I'll say. Maybe it's the copium getting to me, because I have been waiting for this game for so long, but I There we go. All right, we're back up. Sorry. Just my USB likes to reset, and I don't know why. Anyway, so that's kind of where we have to leave this. Release is, just because I was just talking about it. Oh, come on, Nintendo. Just tell us. The 4th. Nope, that's for the Amiibos. The release is... What the heck, man? Yeah, the 4th. Okay. I was right. So, release is December 4th. We will know much, much more then. And that's kind of where we got to drop that one. All right. So, like I said, we got... I'm not going to do all of these pieces for music, though some of them are very, very quick. So, let's hit... Oh, most of these are kind of tour announcements, so we can hit those real quick. Yeah. There we go. Let's do Fire in the Mountains, new festival. Fire in the Mountains 2026 have been announced. Baroness, Ruins of Beverast, a atmospheric black metal band. A heavy metal powerhouse Summerlands, DNA composer and sound artist Raven Chacon. Denver, Prague, Genre Defiers Dreadnought, and Fargo Death Metal Legion Phobophilic are headlining. 16 horsepower Enslaved, Borknagar, Yob, Gallo Braid, interesting. Psy, Wayfarer, Midwife, Tarantella, Galvanist, and Nocturne also announced. This will be... Fire in the Mountains will take place between July 23rd and 26th at Red Eagle Campground in East Glacier, Montana. That's going to be a hell of a show. Converge, new music. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk about the tour stuff. Festival, here we go. Hellfest. That's the one I was looking for. Hellfest 2026. All 183 bands have been announced. So, big ones that are on the flyer, like the ones taking up space on the flyer. We have Bring Me the Horizon, Iron Maiden, Limp Bizkit, Offspring, Bad Omens, Volbeat, Sabaton, Deep Purple, Papa Roach, Halloween, Perfect Circle, The Hives. What an interesting... Hellfest is always such an interesting lineup, man. Alice Cooper, Opeth, Megadeth, Architects. Why is Megadeth not up here? That doesn't make any sense. Breaking Benjamin, Ultra Vomit, Tom Morello, Rise Against, Pretty Reckless, Sepultura, Anthrax, 3 Days Grace, Social D, Dillinger Escape Plan. Hell yeah. I saw Dillinger Escape Plan a couple months ago. I know we talked about it on the channel when it happened, but I don't know if I recounted the experience of Dimitri, their vocalist, the vocalist who did their first record, Calculating Infinity, who is the one doing this tour with them. Jumped into the crowd, and I didn't realize what I had done, but he jumped into the pit, and when he jumped into the pit, I leaned in and elbowed him in the gut. And he grabbed the hat off my head, threw it in my face, and then promptly exited the pit. Not that I think I really hurt the dude. I'm not trying to say that, because he is a solid ass dude. But it was just a really funny interaction, and he did not miss a beat, even in spite of me leaning into him. So much respect to Dimitri, the vocalist of Dillinger Escape Plan. But continuing, Hatebreed, Addicts, Cadaver, Mastodon, Cult of Luna, Down, Acid Bath, Igor. Jeez, this lineup: Blood Incantation, Deicide, Napalm Death, Scald Gathering, Behemoth, Mayhem, and more. Wow. Papa Roach, I think they're in this list up at the top, right? Rivers of Nile, good Lord, Halo Effect, Igor, again, that is their new record is so good. All Time Low, what the hell? 40th anniversary set for Halloween, that's impressive. Tesseract, other notable bands, there's so many in here. Loathe, Torch, really. Periphery, Decapitated, Silosis, Sinsanum. Wow, Crypta, My Dying Bride, Rotting Christ, Jesus. Perfect Circle was not on this big list up here. Really? Oh, yes, they were. Okay. All right, so Perfect Circle, Volbeat, we already talked about, Lionheart, Kubla Khan, Cro-Mags, Cancer Bats, King 810, Combi Christ. Oh, no, Combust. Never mind. I read that wrong. Pigs. Cabal, Obscura, Profanation, Dirk. 1914. Oh, they have a new record that is also really damn good. Black Veil Brides. I know a lot of people like them. I don't so much. President. Again, I know a lot of people like them, but I don't so much. The Addicts. I think that we mentioned them before. The Buzzcocks. This is Acid Bath is on this bill. There's so much here. Scour. That's if you are when is it? Let's go check the website. It's in France. That's right. Hellfest is always in France. If you're in France next year, the dates exactly are as follows. Tales from the Pit. There we go. June 18th through the 21st. If you are in France for those dates and you do not go to Hellfest, you cannot call yourself a music appreciator. That is just too awesome of a lineup for you to even pretend like you don't want to go. Real quick, touring stuff. We have Orbit Culture announces a headlining American tour. They're going out with Of Freaking Sulfur and Atlas. This is going to be potentially one of the top 5 bills of the entire 2026, and it's happening starting in February. It starts February 18th in Roseville, California, runs through January, February, March, April. There we go. April 10th in LA. Oh, that is, I don't know if I will be able to make that show. Oh, goodness gracious. So, yes, Orbit Culture going out with Of Sulfur and Atlas. What more do you need? Oh, here's something else that's pretty freaking awesome. Hanabiye, Necrogoblicon, and Enterprise Earth are going out together. What a hell of a bill that is. Starting March 13th in Boston, runs through April 11th, also in LA. That's another one that I really... Oh, they're not even coming to this area anyway, so I wouldn't be able to go even if I did have the time / money / wasn't in the middle of a bunch of other things that I'm not going to talk about on stream. That's actually kind of a shorter American, because a good chunk of these are... Well, a good chunk, 2... looks like 2 of them are in Canada, so maybe not a good chunk, but still, strangely short. Maybe it's because Hanabiye are from Japan, so they have to do, but that's a hell of a bill, man. Hanabiye, if you like baby metal, think of Hanabiye as a better version of baby metal. Necrogoblicon is always a good time, and Enterprise Earth is just going to destroy shit. So just there you go. We already did that. Oh, and we had to talk about this one because I'm very confused by this announcement. But the Avett Brothers and Mike Patton are going on tour together. What the hell? They just released an album together, Avett Patton, and still surprised this is a thing as well. The person writing this article says that. The Triage just announced they're taking the record on the road in 2026, which puts a further damper on the idea that Faith No More might actually do more shows together at some point. We already know that's not happening. They've kind of left that door pretty well shut. But this crazy amalgamation of artists is starting March 28th. It runs through June 20th in Waukegan, Illinois, starts in Knoxville, Tennessee, and goes all over the place, kind of, mostly in the South and then the West Coast, looks like, with some stuff up on the Northeast side. Yeah, weird. And then and then a stop in Ohio because, sure, Cleveland is a place to go if you're Mike Patton and the Avett brothers. That's a crazy bill, man. All right, and then the biggest piece for music this week. I was going to do a reaction for this song, but I then heard the song on Liquid Metal earlier today, so I can no longer do a proper reaction to it. But after quite a long time talking about it, Converge is set to release new material tomorrow, technically. But Liquid Metal usually gets big releases like this the day before. They play it every hour, on the hour roughly, and I just happened to be driving when they played it at one point. Converge has also recently announced the inaugural Saddest Day Festival, set to take place December 13th of 2025 at Roadrunner in Boston, Mass., named after the band's iconic 1996 track, The Saddest Day, from Petitioning the Empty Sky, which is a hell of a record. Go listen to it. Reportedly titled Love Is Not Enough is the name of the new record. They haven't officially announced that yet, but the new single is... Oh, come on. The new single is named something. Says new... Nope. Nope. 2021. Good night. Dumb. So, but they are also headlining an event, their Saddest Day Festival. Touche Amore, Coalesce, Hope Conspiracy, Full of Hell, Soul Glow, Year of the Nice, Stress Positions, and Wormwood all will be involved. Tickets are available. It is going to be, again, December 13th at Roadrunner in Boston, Mass. So... yes, that is kind of where we're at with that. That is what we have for the news this week, nerds. That is where things are. I am going to put this over into a holding pattern because I might return for a brief session of gaming, just so that I can get some Mortal Kombat into my fingertips tonight. Very potentially, I might just log off. It kind of depends on how the next 5 to 10 minutes goes. So hold on real quick, unless you are only here for the news, in which case I thank you. I shake you warmly by the hand, and I will see you next time. There will not be a stream next week. Next week is a holiday and also a different celebration for me personally, so we will not be doing a stream. I do have some stuff that is lined up that I need to film so that we won't be completely radio silence next week, but there will not be a stream. So we will see you in approximately 2 weeks. It might be 3. Either way, I will be sure to put something up, so keep your eyes posted to the socials. Also, keep your eyes posted to the community tab here on YouTube, and over at the other 2 channels, we have the Nerd News Clips. If you're looking for the smaller digestible things and the shorts and stuff, that all goes up on Clips. And then the newest channel that I started was the Generally Political, which I've tried to do some collab stuff with that. That's we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, appreciate you, nerds. Again, going into holding pattern. Possibly going to come back and do a couple of real quick matches on the Mortal Kombats. Either way, appreciate your faces. If this is the last I speak with you, thank you very much. We'll see you in the next one. Before we do go or hold or whatever, always remember that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here. Okay, looks like it is actually working this time. Last time we recorded, for some reason, the go here. Last time we recorded, for some reason, the game had no audio, and I didn't catch it until post. So this time we have some audio for the game, so that will be nice. Just gonna play a few matches. We'll probably talk a little bit more about them than we have previously, but yeah, just gonna get still working on the whole gaming side of this stuff, so let's go. Still rocking the Scorpion Striker main combo with the Motaro backup for my cameo. Just seems to be doing pretty well for me. I know that theoretically there's more damage to be had. Nope. More damage to be had with somebody like Chameleon or... oh, good lord. What is her name? The little one. Terra. Yeah, Farah. There we go. I was thinking Farah Tor, and I mixed them together. So, going up against a noob who is twice my character, or season rank. No, twice my account rank, and is 3/4 of the way through the season rank that we're in. 251 to 254, so he's got a losing KD ratio. But it's noob, and noob is one that kind of 50-50 on.
Round one, fight.
Let's go, let's go. Oh, where the hell is my... Good lord. He's gonna start throwing that stuff out, though. Yep, alright. Yep. Why? Oh. There it is. Okay, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing.
Round two, fight.
Oh, good call. He's gonna burn all of his... Yeah. What an idiot. Burned all of his meter on that one combo.
Final round.
A lot of new players do that, actually. That has not worked for him once. Why does he keep doing that? luck with this one, big guy. Not gonna do it. I'll be surprised if he gets 50% off of this. Yeah, nothing close. With the dick punch. Killed him with the dick punch.
Wins.
He could have blocked that and it still would have killed him. Oh, I think I've actually played against this guy. I recognize his name now. I think I've played against him a few times.
Silence is with us now.
That's round 1. Fight.
Although I don't remember him being a... Ooh. That. Now it works. Hey look, he actually pulled off a combo that was worth his shit with only burning 1 meter. He's mad. Flawless round on me.
Fight.
And I just got a bigger combo than he could get. Ah! Really? Aha! Yeah, there it is. All right. He's gonna do, yeah, a brutal.
The choice was yours.
Somebody's angry.
Noob Saibot wins.
I made him mad. It's okay. I don't think he's gonna take the third one, so we're good. Did he quit? What the hell's going on? EI Tarkatan.
Attacking my wedding? How could you?
Round 1. Fight.
Ah, there it is. He's outside.
Round 2. Fight. Really? I mean, this isn't gonna kill, but it's gonna be real close. Final round. Fight.
Shit. No more meter, buddy. Ah! No more meter for me either. He took it. Yeah. Damn, that was dumb.
Into confusion. Brutality. Noob Saibot wins.
Oh, I should have done better on that end there. I was getting overconfident. Let's go look at some stats on that one. He is level, like his MMR. I don't know why this takes so long to load. Ooh, 42,000. That's not a good person to have lost to. Because my MMR, 10,000. The other day I had it as high as 8,000. So interesting. Huh. It was the I kept falling into the trap of the surprise teleport slam. That's what got me. That last teleport slam. If I hadn't been so reckless with it. Huh. Yeah. Wired at 120? No thanks. Wired at 75? We'll go for that. Leg abuse. Sonya and Sub-Zero, it looks like. That's a decent combo. Maybe not the strongest pair for Sub-Zero, but...
Father would be ashamed of you.
Round one. Fight.
That was dumb. That was dumber. I didn't even have to use any resources on that.
Fight.
Ah, that one I should use resources on. Duck, baby, duck.
Finish him.
Yeah, I know. I could have ruled him, but I'm not a dick all the time. Just only sometimes.
Wins.
He is 100 levels above me on his character, on his profile levels, though. So I bet if he wins this one, he'll brood on me, because he's mad. You wasted your meter.
Round 2. Fight.
What a dumb. Oh, he might take a round. Nope. Yep, he took a round. Okay, I gotta be faster on the reaction, man.
Final round. Fight.
No. Poke throw, eh? Poke throw. I blocked that.
Finish him.
Yeah, that one wasn't really fair. He is obviously not on the level. That was a little one-sided. Definitely plays a lot though, because he's level 376, and it was he had like 500 matches to get him this high on the scale on the season ranks. So definitely plays a lot. You would think after a certain point you would learn. "90 seconds on wireless? No. 72 on wireless? We'll do it. Raiden player. Let's go.
Havoc is bent on bringing chaos to Earth.
Round one. Fight!
Reduced to ashes.
Round two. Fight!
Only got 1 meter, bud. Oh, but Raiden does hit like a sack of fucking bricks. Whoa.
Wins.
Let's get it. Also might not be on the level, dude's 100 levels below me.
Liu Kang's revelation has shaken my...
Round one. Fight!
Ah, there it is. Oh, he might take this first round. Yeah. Yep, there it is.
You are a formidable challenge.
Round two. Fight!
Feel the heat.
I blocked that. That was some sneaky nonsense.
Raiden wins.
Totally blocked that. And I would have rocked him right there, too, if it had given me the block.
Round 1. Fight.
I saw that one coming a mile away. Eat it.
I do not wish to kill you.
Round 2. Fight.
Break it. Thank you. Nope.
Boiling over.
Dead. Oh, but it didn't give me the brutal. Whatever. Dead. Hard dead. Hard dead. Let's go, let's go. I think maybe this one and maybe one more, and then we'll just call it a night. Ending, of course. It's still low enough, I think. Noob and Madam Bo, huh? Oh, Ghostface.
Round 1.
Bite me.
Fight.
I love how big his hitbox is when he jumps. The stuff that normally would make it difficult to do that sweep combo. Nope. Throwing the spear with that anti-air is not always a guarantee, but it's a lot more guaranteed with Ghostface. Ah, with the grab. I should have just gone for the low. Ah! Now he finally gets it. He does have some stupid long reach, though.
Final round. Fight.
Oh! Oh, see, there I missed it. Ah, grab, poke grab, poke grab, poke grab. And we're going for the brutal, because fuck this guy. I hate Ghostface.
Now you can rest.
Brutality. Scorpion wins.
You're youthful.
Round one. Fight.
Ah, with the grab. What? That was dumb. That was really dumb. Nope. Not gonna kill, I don't think, but I don't know. I don't see him enough to know for certain. Either way, it's the first round. Yeah, it's not gonna kill. It's gonna hurt real bad though. Ah!
Where do you learn to punch like that?
Round two. Fight.
That's an interesting...
Final round.
Mine's bigger.
Fight.
Big hitbox. Big, stupid hitbox. Jump. 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 Going for it again, because fuck Ghostface.
Now you can rest.
Brutality. Scorpion wins.
Wireless is 74. That's good enough for me. There was a point in that last match that was really confusing because I was trying to EX teleport so that I could hit him with an overhead off of the teleport, but he teleported at the same time. Pairboy. I might have played this person before. So it like confused and it burned my EX, and then I tried to do it again because I didn't realize the EX was burned, and that
Ready for
threw
this,
off that
princess?
one match,
The
or
towers
that
of
one
Sindel
round.
are always ready.
Oh, I hate zoners.
Round one. Fight.
Oh, that. Yeah, come on. Oh! What is this laggy nonsense? And I missed her cameo too? Oh, that was total garbage. How did I miss her cameo? I punched right through her. Poke grab, poke.
Finish him. Kitana wins.
As I lose the microphone, is it still working? Let's go check. Yep, it's back. All right. Microphone fell. So sorry.
Ready?
Round one. Fight.
Go for that. Go for that. Go for that. Do it again. Matter of fact.
Caught in a firestorm.
Round 2. Fight!
Ah. Oh, that was dumb on my part. Also that.
Behave yourself.
Final round. Fight!
Yeah, I don't think so, lady. You're dead.
Now you can rest.
Peace outside.
Scorpion wins.
Ready for this, Princess?
Round 1. Fight!
Escape failed. I love seeing that. That's a decent little combo you got there. Pardon me. Ah. Yeah, I couldn't really do much about that
I
one.
will finish you quickly.
Round 2. Fight!
Ah! No! Yeah, gloat. I should have teleported with the jump. I had the meter. I could have done the EX teleport and come in with the overhead. Oh, that was so close, though. Yeah, run away. Nope, nope. I did not mean to push that. Wired at 90. That's right at the threshold that the artificial threshold that I've laid out for myself. So we'll go for it. Rocco 2221. Level 6, 156, 148. So he's positive, and he's played a lot to get here.
Round 1. Fight.
And he's Liu freaking Kang. Really? Oh, damn it. He caught it. Ah.
This is just beginning.
Round 2. Fight.
No, no. Liu Kang's too damn fast.
Liu Kang wins.
You allow vengeance to consume you. I should not punish beyond for
Round 1. Fight.
Don't let fear control you.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah. I threw the first punch there. What the hell is that? No. Jesus.
Finish him.
I don't know how. I really don't know what the hell happened there. Like I should have won the whatever. Because I threw the first punch. Like my animation was actively in active frames and somehow he poked me out of it. We're not going out on that one. I refuse. Quiet Phoenix. Oh, Geras player. I mean, I'm not that bad against Geras. There are certain Geras players who I basically can't touch, but I am not that bad against Geras. On average. We'll say it that way.
Our army would crush
No,
your
but he's
clan in battle.
Reiko.
It would be unwise to test our
Round one. Fight.
Yeah. Peace. Reiko is another one I struggle with. Usually.
Fight.
There it is. Yeah. Ooh, he ducked it. He went underneath the grenade. This is gonna hurt a little bit. Peace.
Finish him.
Getting sweaty against Reiko. Sweaty, sweaty.
Wins.
I'll follow the general to the bitter end.
Round one. Fight.
Nope. All right, he's got that. But he doesn't have his tremor. where he wants them. So there's that. Peace.
Failure is your only option.
Round two.
Well, he does. He's in crystalline. That's exactly what he needs. So why is he not... What? Okay. All right. This is going to hurt a little bit, I think. Yeah, there it is. That didn't work out like you wanted it to. And we're going for the brutal, because this is our last one. We might as well go out on a high note.
Now you can rest.
Brutality. Scorpion wins.
Go look at these ranks. See what we were actually dealing with. Quiet Phoenix was 10,000. All right. Rocco, I bet, is higher than that. Yep, 8,000. Hairboy will probably be above me because I played like crap against him. Yeah, 36. Bite me. Migraine. Close to the same rank. A little below me. 17. Okie Dog is way high. Yeah, 57. Yeah, that's pretty high. Leg abuse. Just below 20, but only just. 60. Oh, he plays above his rank. That's not bad. EIT Tarkatan is the other one that beat me today. 42. Oh, that's right. We already looked at that. All right. So that puts us to the end of the stream. Thank you for those. I'm super glad that I have finally figured out what the hell is going on with Rumble, because that Rumble situation was really driving me crazy. I still can't use Rumble Studio for some reason, but whatever. I can at least stream onto the platform. So looks like a couple of people were actually actively watching in Rumble, so that's cool. Yeah, so like I said, no stream next week. Very probably just a reaction video, maybe two if you're lucky, or if I'm lucky, however you want to phrase that. So at least one video. There will probably be some clips from tonight that go up next week as well. I still have some shorts that I uploaded and forgot I uploaded, so you'll be seeing some of that stuff come through. Not going to go quiet, just no live stream next week. So thank you very much, nerds, for joining. We will see you in the next one, which will be potentially 2, possibly 3 weeks away. As we are in the off season, it is the gamble, depending on where I'm at with the assets and things for next year. And I kind of have to pull the trigger on exactly which software, because I'm migrating away from Adobe. So which software I'm migrating into has to be
decided by next week. So there will be very potentially a lot of learning happening when we return. So bear with me because things are going to get a little nuts before they get any better. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about the news. That doesn't mean we won't have a good time doing it. So thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember that if it is generally nerdy, it's